Hi, I'm Malorie Slade, and today I will be presenting Committing Before the Commitment, aka Cohabitation Before Marriage. With the rise of individualism and detraditionalization among societies, many couples are desiring to destruct the old ways of thinking and create new ideas as to what they believe love might contain. Cohabitation before marriage is a fast-growing topic that to many people can be seen merely as just a new norm, but is now becoming the idea of what love can be. According to the definition given by Google, cohabitation is the act of living together while having a sexual relationship but without the legal bind of marriage. The fact that more and more couples are choosing this alternative way of living brings up the big question: is cohabitation before marriage really a healthy lifestyle for couples? Studies show a significant increase in divorce rates over the most recent years. A mere 50% of couples are ending their relationships. Cohabitation is a very likely cause of the numbers being so high. In an article written by Rhonda Johnson, who is a licensed marriage and family therapist, she points out that studies show cohabitation has become a commonly chosen alternative in relationships, escalating to 4.738 million couples in 1998. It has only escalated in numbers since then. In the 2000s, 5.5 million couples were reportedly living together before marriage. These numbers will only continue to grow over the years. With the amount of couples choosing to cohabitate today, where did this idea of cohabitation come from, and how did it become so popular? Many people years ago anchored their lives in law and religion. There was no separation between the two. Because the government was so heavily involved in the religion aspects of the citizens' lives, it was practically considered a law to be bound by marriage before considering living together with a partner. To see a couple cohabitating together before marriage was considered to be living a life of sin to almost all people. Over the years, people have really taken the First Amendment and tried to push their own opinions on how it should be interpreted. It has slowly made its way to show that people are choosing to live their own ways and independent of the government as much as they can. There has also been a decrease as to how many people are participating in a religion today. In a study done by Pew Research Center, they surveyed 35,000 people from all different states in the U.S. to find that 22.8% of them are not affiliated with any religion at all. That is almost 1/4 of the U.S. population no longer living a religious lifestyle. It is now foreseeable that the increase in the amount of those claiming no religious beliefs and the increase of individualism has caused the major increase in cohabitation before marriage. A key player in helping to create the rise in the amount of couples choosing to cohabitate and why it has become so popular is the media that people are choosing to view. Media has very much impacted the normalizing of cohabitation before marriage. It seems as if nowadays you can't get away with watching a single TV show that doesn't show a couple who is living together not bound by marriage. Media sets trends for its viewers to follow, and if cohabitation is the image being given off, then that is a contributor to the large amount of people choosing to live together not married today. There can be many reasons a couple sees cohabitating as a healthy lifestyle and a benefit to their relationship. With the shift in society leaning more towards individualism, marriage can be seen as a bond that you are tied to with someone, making it more difficult to receive that feeling of independence. It constrains the relationship, making it harder to separate if needed once the bonds of marriage have already been put into place. Another reason is that cohabitating before marriage is a way for couples to experience living together and assess their compatibility as a couple. Almost a mere 2/3 of the world is in belief that if you live together prior to marriage first, you can better learn how to work with each other as a non-married couple before you choose to commit with marriage. Cohabitation before marriage will do the exact opposite for couples wanting to find compatibility. A journal article states that among married individuals, premarital cohabitation is related to lower marital satisfaction, less time spent together in shared activities, higher levels of marital disagreement, less supportive behavior, less problem solving, more reports of marital problems, and a greater perceived likelihood of marital dissolution. Divorce rates have risen almost astronomically over the course of the last 50 years. Many couples find comfort in cohabitating before marriage, so they aren't making that large commitment again for fear of not being able to easily remove themselves from the relationship. Cohabitation can create a feeling of independence among the relationship. Couples can feel as though they have freedom to live their own lives, not really being in a complete bond with their significant other. This can also be considered as financial independence as well. When you aren't married and are just choosing to live together, there isn't any responsibility to take care of the other financially, unless you choose to do so. This can help couples to alleviate the stress of worrying about their finances and just keeping to only worrying about supporting themselves financially. On the contrary side of things, there are also indications to show that cohabitating before marriage may not be the best choice for a couple when choosing a healthy lifestyle. When couples choose to marry after having cohabitated, it has shown that there are higher divorce rates among them. In a cohabitative relationship, couples can fluctuate to an extent of how dedicated they are to the other person in their relationship. There can be some cases where there really may not be much commitment at all from either partner. Marriage comes with a different set of rules among it that can make it hard for cohabitative couples to adapt to. Individuals that were once able to have more say in their lives are getting into marriage and having less of a satisfaction in the marriage because they aren't used to living under different circumstances. It can create a lot of conflict among the couple when they are trying to put their minds together to think of the benefits to both sides, whereas before their lives were only guided by themselves and they did what they wanted. Couples are less likely to be good at communicating with each other if they have prior cohabitating experience. The reason being because couples may have less of a need to communicate about things that you would be required to talk about in a marriage relationship. Communication and learning how to problem solve with one another isn't seen as important when individuals are just cohabitating together. But when taking the relationship further and putting the marriage label on things, it can get difficult to begin the communication and problem solving among couples if it is something they never really had to experience before. Couples that choose to marry outside of cohabitating have higher rates of marital satisfaction. Communication about what you want out of the relationship comes before you are even married, whereas with couples who are cohabitating, they may never really figure out what they desire in the relationship. In the end, cohabitation is shown to lead dissatisfaction in relationships and in couples that later marry. Higher divorce rates among cohabitative couples have been proven. Even though cohabitating before marriage may continue to be a widely accepted way to live, the negative effects it can have on couples shows that cohabitating before marriage may not be the healthiest choice for couples.